There was a time when Nigeria's middle class represented stability. A teacher with a car, a banker with a mortgage, a civil servant planning for retirement, or a small business owner who could afford private schooling for his or her children. In the early 2000s, analysts like Standard Bank estimated this particular group at roughly between 20 to 23% of Nigeria's population. About 23 million back then with disposable income, stable employment, and access to credit. They were the engine of consumption, buying electronics, supporting real estate boom, and fueling the growth of private education and healthcare. But that picture has changed sharply. Inflation, currency devaluation, and rising taxes have eroded real incomes. Nigeria's inflation hit about 33.95% in 2024, with food inflation above 40%, the highest it has ever been in 2 decades. Electricity tariffs, transport fares, and school fees have multiplied several times over. The once comfortable salary now barely covers rent and food. So, who counts as middle class in Nigeria today? Economists suggest a typical Nigerian household would need to earn between 800 and 1.2 million naira monthly to maintain a modest middle-class lifestyle in a city like Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt, or even a Tier 2 state. That means paying rent, feeding a family, sending children to basic private school, owning a decent car, and saving some money at the month end. Yet, less than 5% of Nigerians earn anywhere near that range. The national minimum wage is at 70,000 naira, while many skilled workers in the civil service or in the private sector earn below 200,000 naira a month. That gap alone shows how the middle is shrinking. Historically, during the Obasanjo and Yar'Adua years, the middle class expanded with banking, telecoms, and oil service jobs, creating steady salaries and career paths. By the Jonathan era, even with economic inequality, there was still a visible consumer base. Families were traveling, buying homes, and shopping in malls. But the recession of 2016, the COVID-19 shocks, and subsequent currency crisis pushed many of these households into debt or outright poverty. Today, Nigeria's social pyramid looks dangerously narrow at the top and extremely wide at the bottom. Oxfam data shows that the richest 10% control well above 45% of the national wealth, while the bottom 50% share less than 10%. With the cost of essentials skyrocketing and no real wage growth, there's little space between extreme wealth and extreme poverty in Nigeria today. The result is a country with two visible classes: the elite few, insulated by access and privilege, and then the struggling majority, constantly adjusting to survive. Compared with peers like South Africa, Nigeria's middle class has been hollowed out. In South Africa, for example, despite inequality, a strong credit system allowed salary workers to maintain assets. In Nigeria, inflation, weak credit access, and policy inconsistency have destroyed that buffer. The loss of a vibrant middle class means more than economic pain. It weakens democracy, shrinks consumer demand, and undermines national stability. According to experts, without a strong middle class to drive production, spending, and tax revenue, Nigeria risks becoming a country of extremes. Those who have everything on one hand and those who have nothing on the other. Rebuilding the middle class requires more than job creation. It needs predictable policies, living wages, affordable education, and lower inflation. Because without a middle class, a nation like Nigeria cannot stand balanced for long.